And usually we don't use the word stubbornness. We talk about fancier topics, or we make it a bit fancy. We start talking about stumbling blocks in communication. We talk about not having listening skills, but today I chose to use the word stubbornness. I have realized that a lot of relationships they break down because of stubbornness, and today I prefer to focus on stubbornness in a relationship. We realized in my line of work, I've realized that some marriages they fail because of stubbornness. I've already mentioned relationships fail, relationships break down because of stubbornness. So I want to talk about stubbornness from that angle because in relationships we find that it's the little things that accumulate and result in what I would call stubbornness in a relationship. It's that episode where you decide to ignore the other person, is that action of refusing to do something that your partner wants you to do. Is that maybe once off attitude where you decide not to listen. But all these things, they accumulate. And all these things, as they accumulate, that is what I'm labeling as stubbornness. And usually people get so surprised as to why the other person says they are stubborn, and why the other person feels that they cannot continue in the relationship, because the person who mostly acts out stubbornness, or the person who is stubborn most of the time, they want to believe that it's a once-off thing. No, it's just 2 weeks back I did not do what he requested me to do, or last year it was just once I did not listen when he said something, or he asked me to do something. What we don't realize is that that act of being stubborn, it might be once off, it might be something that you believe you did not do many times, but what we fail to understand is that it accumulates. You would refuse to do something for the other person, for your partner, and in your heart, because from there you just move on, you continue talking about other things, you continue living your lives together, you think it is over and done with, only to learn that when you do another thing similar to that one, or that shows that you are being stubborn again, it adds on to what was already there. It adds on to that little thing that you, according to you, little thing that you did the previous year. And you fail to realize that for the person who is on the receiving end, this action influences the way they look at you, influences the way they think about you, and also influences the feelings of love that this person has towards you. In other words, I want to use this example that it's like you are withdrawing from your bank account, from your savings account. If you had $100 and you keep taking out maybe $1, $5, $20, the money that you had saved is reducing because you are not adding, you are taking out. And you'll be surprised that by the end of the year or a few years down the line, you don't have money in your account. It is because you kept withdrawing from that account. That is similar to being stubborn in a relationship. Ignoring the other person. And when they realize that you are doing this intentionally, it changes the way they feel about you. It changes the way they think about you. That is, you are withdrawing. You are reducing something from this person. And that is why stubbornness can end even in a relationship breaking down, a marriage breaking down. It can lead to people divorcing. And usually people are surprised. And usually they say statements like, I don't understand what is wrong with this person, because she's saying a lot of things, or he's saying a lot of things that she attributes to me. I don't remember doing these things. It's because you, as the person who did that, as the person who was perpetrating that, you will not remember. And according to you, it's something that happened maybe a long time back, and you feel that the person should have moved on and you should have continued living your lives, but it doesn't work like that. We need to also introspect. What is it that I have not been listening to my partner on? What is it that maybe I need to change and listen more when my partner speaks? What is it that I need to change and please my partner more on? What does we need to listen as couples? We need to listen. Hore, okay, this person keeps complaining about 1, 2, 3. One way to deal with stubbornness, your stubbornness, is to listen to the things that your partner complains about more. If your partner complains about something, before you become dismissive and say this person is being petty, you need to say, why is this person complaining about this thing? Is there anything that I can do to ensure that this does not become the source of our conflict? If it becomes the source of your conflict a lot, then you should sit, look at it, examine it, and make a decision that you get to the deeper end of this thing, to understand where the other person is coming from, and to find a way to resolve it. Listen more. Make a decision that I'm going to sit down, listen to this person, and ensure that I understand where they're coming from. Whether you believe what they're saying is true, is relevant or not, is not an issue. The issue is listen, understand where they're coming from. That is when you can know how to move forward from that issue. But if you start thinking, okay, this person is petty, I'm not going to listen, I'm going to ignore him or her, then you are cultivating a bad culture. You are also setting yourself up for failure in the relationship or in the marriage.